mother in a church hat.
Tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, but darling, you were meant to survive. With every star, we are born again. Less time in your head. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. Staring out over miles of land without it, but wanting to build up walls. Lift me up in your branches, we can watch the sunrise. Just a couple of bruised up souls that believe that it was worth one more try. With every star, we are born again.
Hi, I'm Newt Crenshaw, the president of Young Life. Thanks for taking the time to show up today and to see what God is doing in the lives of kids in your community. What you're doing is exactly what kids need. Kids need today more than ever adults to show up in their lives. It's through these relationships as adults go where kids are and walk alongside them that we in Young Life earn the right to share about how God showed up in the world through the person of Jesus Christ, and how this reveals the extravagant love God has for us. And regardless of a kid's response to God, adults in Young Life keep walking alongside them, no matter what. This is why I love Young Life. I've seen it show up in the lives of my own kids. I took my kids to a Young Life family camp when they were young, and I can still remember the delight and excitement on my daughter's face as she watched the program. The characters making jokes and showing us that life is meant to be enjoyed. And this led to a simple and clear presentation of the gospel, which happens in Young Life every day. Kids hear about Jesus and his love and how they can walk with him. While a global pandemic has changed some of how we do things, our core remains the same. The adults you see on the screen, not me, but others, are the ones who know kids in your community. They actually like spending time with them. And now, when kids are more removed and isolated than ever, they are the ones who have relationships with these kids who are hurting and hopeful, anxious and excited. I want you to know that in Young Life, this is not a season to pause or halt what we do. Rather, we're going forward together. That's our focus. We're finding new ways to go together with kids. We know them and care for them. We are finding creative ways to share life together with them because kids are dear to us. After all, going together is really about showing up. In a few moments, you'll hear about ways to show up for kids in your community. I want you to know that Young Life exists all around the U.S. and in 105 countries around the world. We're in the lives of over 2 million kids. We are able to do this because generous adults in communities like yours have decided kids need adults walking in friendship with them and a chance to hear the good news of Jesus Christ. These adults support this work through prayer, time, and financial resources. Thanks for showing up today and considering how you can show up for kids who desperately need it.
Thanks, Newt. Hello, and welcome to the 2020 Lakes Area Young Life Virtual Banquet.
Thank you for tuning in from wherever you're at. Hey, Mom and Dad.
I see you, Minneapolis, New York, Arizona, and you, sir, in the apocalypse bunker.
I didn't think they'd take it that seriously.
We are so excited for you guys to be with us tonight.
We really are. Tonight you're going to get a glimpse into what Young Life has been up to, is doing, and planning to do for the future.
As you may know, I'm Kate Stearns.
And I'm Alex Betcher, and we're juniors at Detroit Lakes High School.
And we're from the Kate and Alex Show.
Alex and Kate.
Kate and Alex.
Alex and Kate.
Never mind.
We are the Young Life Gear Lab Testers, bringing you the best of Young Life. If you haven't watched our previous video, we have reviewed these lovely Patagonia puke green bags, as well as these lovely quarter zip Patagonia Young Life sweatshirts.
And tonight, we have no small feat as we review Chacos. Chacos are great. They have many straps for all your needs.
They even have a summer and a 4-wheel drive mode for winter.
They come in all sizes and colors and are great for any season and outfit.
Oof, that was a lot. I bet you're thinking to yourself, what does Chacos have to do with Young Life?
And that's a great question. Chacos have provided solid ground for Young Life and wildlife leaders as they step into the world of high school and middle school students by leading camps, clubs, and campaigners and getting pied in the eye at camp.
Oh my gosh, I love camp and club and campaigners, even when they come to my games.
Me too, Alex, me too. What's that, Zoom world? You don't know what camp, club, campaigners, and contact work is?
Oh yeah, our bads, Young Life lingo. We're gonna hand it over to our friends Joel and Jenny, who are also wildlife leaders, to explain Young Life.
But before we do that, let me pray for you. Dear God, please be with us tonight as we learn about what Young Life does for my peers and I. We pray that you are with us and present with us tonight. Thank you. Amen.
Enjoy the show. Go get them, Joel and Jenny.
Sally sells seashells. Down Sally sells seashells.
All right, we are Joel and Jennifer Juni, and we are volunteers for wildlife in the lakes area here. We've been asked to talk about Young Life in 60 seconds or less. So we're going to describe Young Life as best we can. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Young Life exists to introduce kids to Jesus and help them grow in their faith.
We are not a representation of just one denomination or just one church, but the Christian church as a whole.
We do this with 4 different C's in Young Life. So the first one is contact work. So we go into the lives of kids in order to get to know them and earn the right to speak into their life.
Number 2 is club. We invite the kids in, we play games, we do awesome stuff, and one leader at the end shares the love of God through the story of Jesus.
Then campaigners. So the kids that want to go a little bit deeper, get to know Jesus a little bit more, we gather in small groups together with the kids and leaders and talk about the Bible, church, and how to follow Jesus.
And 4 is camp. We invite kids on an adventure away from home for the best week of their lives. We come together and we bring them and show them how to have a relationship deeper with God, with themselves, and with their leaders.
Yes, we do. That's 5 seconds to spare.
Bam! We did it.
Yes, so.
Every kid wants their parents to stay together forever, but sometimes it's just not ideal. My sister handled it pretty well, but I had a pretty tough time. My life was pretty easy until about 3rd grade when my parents separated. Only being 8 years old, I had so many questions and nobody answered. Sophomore year was probably the hardest year for me. I felt very alone, unworthy, and unloved. I would come home each day and lock myself in my room so I wouldn't have to face reality. I was introduced to Young Life through a friend during this time. And at first it was kind of like, oh, this is overwhelming, like so much is happening at once, like I just like was at whatever. But then like as the club went on, it got so much better and so fun. I got asked to go to fall camp, that first club, by one of the leaders, and I was so excited because like it's just camp, like I've never been to one before, so might as well. Fall camp was at Castaway, and it was the most amazing weekend I've ever had and what felt like forever. One of the nights we had cabin time where you pour your heart out to your leaders and roommates in your dorm. I don't think I've ever cried harder. It just felt so nice to know I was safe and could talk about everything. That weekend I met the first person I felt safe to, Ashley Hebert. She was the first leader that let me tell her my whole story, and she would just sit, listen, and give me the best advice to help me better my home life. January 24th, 2019 is a day that would change my life forever. Our town received news that one of my close friends and teammates had passed away. In that moment, I questioned God more than ever. Why would he take this bright and sweet soul so soon? I fell back into the slump. My leaders helped me as much as ever. Pudge was there holding my hand through it all. July 19th was the start of the new journey of my story. I hopped into the bus on the way to Timberwolf Lake in Michigan. Our camp speaker was Kelsey Jenny. She was the most real and amazing person I've ever met. She led us through our week telling us stories that we would never forget. She talked about purpose a lot, which was very close to my heart as I was feeling very alone at home. My favorite talk that she gave us was the can crushing. She had a big garbage can filled with empty pop cans. One by one, she would take the bag until it was empty. She would say a flaw, for example. She'd be like, maybe you're bullied and feel alone. Then she would crush the can and drop it. At the end of the bag, she explained that even if you relate to one of the cans, you are still loved by Jesus and you're never alone.
Yeah, so football, I just had a lot of kids just messaging me. They didn't even know me. They were asking if I was playing football, if I was going out for sports, and it just kind of helped me make a lot of friends, and it's just been a huge part of my life.
So when people first hear the word intimidating, they're like, negative. But when I think of intimidating, I think of myself as bold, strong, and courageous.
Weird means unique, interesting, different, not the same as everybody else.
Well, the crazy hair goes back to like when I was born, when the teachers were like talking about me when I was coming up. Oh, the crazy hair kid? Oh yeah, I know who that is.
People call me independent because I like to do things on my own.
Yeah, some people think I'm a funny guy.
They call me Leadfoot. I kind of like to go fast.
Nobody will ever have a super easy life or a perfect family, but you just have to work with what you got.
I'm Kennedy Bridgman, and I am known by God.
Too many days in the darkness.
I'm Christian Solberg, and I'm known by God.
Without a glimpse of the light.
I'm Addison Strand, and I'm known by God. I am Kate Stearns, and I am known by God.
I'm Cole Weber, and I'm known by God.
I see you broken and beat.
I'm Bo Bania, and I'm known by God.
Head pulled down over your eyes.
I'm Casey Parks, and I'm known by God.
Every part of you wants to surrender, darling. You were meant to survive.
I am Sasha Sekundiak,
Nick Bubal,
Kiefer Lundmark,
Milo Price,
Megan Shepard, Brooke Blake, Olivia Smith,
And Louisa Walls.
and I'm known by God.
I'm Melissa Shones, and I'm known by God.
I'm Abby Sharg, and I'm known by God.
I'm Emma Coley, and I'm known by God.
I'm Sadie Heineke, and I'm known by God.
I'm Annie Paulson, and I'm known by God.
I'm Hadley Justison, and I am known by God.
I'm Gabby Whitworth, and I'm known by God.
I'm Kylie Price, and I'm known by God.
I'm Alex Betra, and I am known by God.
I am Jersey Horner, and I am known by God. Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life. Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Young. Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
Thank you, Young Life.
46 years ago, 3 couples came together with a conviction that adolescence mattered deeply to the heart of God. They saw that kids needed to know their Maker. And although these adults were not trained pastors or missionaries, they recognized that there was something that they could do about this need. They had been introduced and witnessed the methods and mission of Young Life. And they knew that this tool, placed in the hands of ordinary people, could change the course of kids' lives.
They prayed and put their hands to work. Ever since, ordinary people have carried this torch. They've placed their limited time, money, talents, and influence into the hands of God and watched Him do miracles in the lives of thousands of kids.
Whatever their context, they have pursued kids with the love of Jesus. Through all the ups and downs of life and culture, ordinary adults have reached out into the world of kids with the love of Christ. And every year, these students have shared their stories of how God rescued them and gave them a new life to live for.
2019 ended with one of the most thriving ministries our area has ever seen. We were able to take over 100 kids to summer camp and 86 to fall camp. Our first kickoff event for Wildlife had over 75 middle schoolers in attendance. We had Young Life clubs averaging over 60 kids, and about 15 of the upperclassmen were meeting together to figure out how they can serve and love their peers through Young Life. We had 38 volunteers reaching kids on their turf. On December 14th, we had parents and kids at 7 a.m. waiting in line for over an hour on a Saturday morning for the registration to open up for Summer Camp 2020. Within 30 minutes, we had 110 kids signed up for Summer Camp 2020, and we started a waiting list. We made the turn into this year with high hopes and expectations. Our first couple of events in January and February had us believing that 2020 would be just as fruitful.
Then we all had a collision course with March 2020.
Quarantine,
Shutdowns,
economic crash,
canceled events,
isolation,
social distancing,
masks,
race riots, camp canceled,
fundraising events postponed,
no student contact,
virtual graduation,
country divided on clear political lines.
This really became the setting, but our mission never changed.
We did what we've always done since 1974. We left the comfort of our own world, past the fears and uncertainties, and reached out to kids on their turf.
The first thing we did was we began praying Psalm 91 daily for 91 days. We texted kids.
We FaceTime kids.
We did club on Zoom.
We dropped off gifts like Mayday baskets on their front doorsteps.
We played games through window panes.
We did solo scavenger hunts throughout town.
We called kids.
We went live on Instagram.
We Snapchatted with them.
We used every tool at our disposal to figure out a way to reach kids. Eventually, we started meeting in small groups, outside with masks and social distancing. In time, we were even able to take a group of 23 middle school students to Castaway for a getaway at Castaway, with many guidelines in place to keep them all safe. Just recently, we even began hosting our first in-person clubs. They look different, with masks and being social distance, but the point is, we're doing them.
Things will look different in 2021, and again in 2022, and again in 2023. But we will continue to adapt and conform our methods to fit into the setting that God places us. But our mission will never change.
We will always be a group of ordinary people who pray and then join their meager offerings together and place them in the hands of God and watch what He will do.
We will do everything we can so that every kid in the Lakes area and beyond has the opportunity to collide with their Maker and be engulfed in His love. Adults will leave the comfort of their own worlds to walk into the mess and majesty of adolescence, and we will all see Christ together.
We have seen over and over again that in the Lakes area, we can do amazing things together. This community is like none other.
In 2020, our committee, staff, leaders, and donors have overcame a projected $40,000 to $80,000 deficit in the fiscal year and ended into a $20,000 surplus, faced canceled camp and instead provided a safe and smaller getaway at Castaway, adapted canceled events to creatively use technology and outside of the box thinking to connect with kids. In a time when people are reluctant to join committees, we have doubled the size of our adult committee.
What can we do together in 2021 and beyond? Can we continue our Young Life and Wildlife ministries? Can we find a way to serve kids at the ALC?
Can we start a ministry for kids with special needs?
Can we increase the diversity of our teams and create space for everyone to belong, regardless of their skin color?
Can we increase the number of leaders and committees doing this work?
Can we build a Young Life facility that meets the needs of Young Life for generations to come? Can we use technology to supplement our relational style and accelerate and scale the work we do?
Can we connect our kids to kids throughout the world and help create a unity in a divided world?
What can we do?
Without you, nothing. Without you, Young Life goes away. God has rigged it that we need each other. We need you. We need you to consider becoming a Young Life leader. We need you to financially support Young Life. We need you to use your influence in this community and beyond to help open doors of opportunities for us to work with others to reach every kid. We need you to advocate for the youth of our community. We need you to pray. Although there are many ways to be involved, we want to highlight 3 specific ways we want you to consider being involved. 2 of these do not even require you to live in the Lakes area to do. First, monthly financially support. 2, pray. And 3, get involved.
We've seen both in our area as well as other Young Life areas that the long-term sustainability of an area financially is connected directly to the amount of monthly donations that it has given. 4 years ago, we felt God leading us to work towards and challenging the donors of our area to collectively give $100,000 a year through monthly donations. We knew this would take many years to move to this reality. At that time, roughly $2,000 a month was being given, totaling about $21,000 that year. Today, we're excited to tell you that you all give at a rate of $5,000 per month, providing $60,000 this past fiscal year. We've come a long way, and there's still work to be done to reach our goal of $100,000. We need to reach $8,400 in a month. We have full confidence that in time, God will finish this amazing work He has started, and we want you to be a part of it.
We all have different financial situations. We have some donors who are able to give $5 a month, and we have some donors who are able to give over $1,000 a month. The thing we ask is that you consider giving monthly. We have challenged those at our last 2 banquets to consider giving a gift of $40 a month, and our donors have responded incredibly. Some have been able to give more, others less, but we can all have a part in this. There's no underestimating what God can do with these loaves and fishes. If you are in a situation with giving a one-time gift or giving through different means, we are set up to work with any of your situations. In fact, check with your employer. They might even match your gifts. It takes all of us.
We also want you to consider getting involved. We have incredible Young Life and Wildlife leaders, but we need more of them. If we're going to reach more kids and push ourselves to do the hard work of equity for all, then it's going to take an army of people willing to walk into the world of adolescence. This is our job as adults, to help our youth walk through this incredibly difficult and yet exciting time in their life. We know that we don't have the time to do this, and we know there are many fears to being involved. But bigger than our fears and full schedules are the need of our kids. The kids today can't wait for us to figure out our lives before getting involved.
We need your help, volunteering at our events and supporting our fundraisers. Sell a tree, donate something for our cupcake sales, or buy a cupcake, help at the triathlon, and tell your friends about Young Life. One thing we can all do without excuse is to pray. Pray for our youth. Pray for our ministries. Pray for our churches. Pray from wherever you are about whatever God puts on your heart. Or just sit in the silence and listen to God. These options just scratch the surface of the amazing opportunities available to put what God has placed in your hands to change the course of kids forever. And we plan to share some of these amazing things in the next couple days.
The new normal will look a lot like the old normal, just ordinary people like you and us,
who pray and place their limited time, money, talents, and influence into the hands of God and watch Him do miracles in the lives of thousands of kids.
Join all of us in this work.
Join us!
Join me as we get into the world of high school students.
Join me into the world of middle school students.
Join me as we go into the lives of middle school students.
Join me and help me sell cupcakes for camp this summer.
Join me in putting on a great triathlon for Young Life this year.
Join me as we reach kids at the ALC.
Join us on committee
to do the behind-the-scenes work to reach kids for Christ.
Join us as we financially support Young Life.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are Kenzie and Chris Pischel, and we serve on the Young Life Committee. What a night.
We hope you've seen God tonight in ways that have moved your heart. And if you are like us and have been feeling the pull to get involved, we wanted to help guide you through the process of communicating with us about your interest in the ministry of Young Life.
Tonight, we ask you to consider financially supporting Young Life, praying for Young Life, and to consider joining a team. But I assure you, there are many other ways to get involved as well. Please be watching throughout the year for other unique opportunities. Or perhaps God has placed something on your heart, something that we haven't even mentioned tonight. If so, we want to hear from you about that too.
We believe that God is working, and it takes all of us working together to introduce adolescents to Jesus and help them grow in their faith.
Here's what you do. Take out your phone or tablet or computer and go to our website. The QR code here will direct you. Don't worry, we will show you it again at the end. Otherwise, it is just www.lakesarea.younglife.org. Once you're on our website, you can scroll down just a bit and you'll see two options, give and get involved.
If you are interested in giving financially, click on the Give button. This will direct you to our giving page. This is the quickest and the most convenient way to give tonight. Here you can indicate if you'd like to give a monthly or a one-time donation for something else. Indicate the word operating in the drop-down menu, which is our desired gift for tonight.
The online giving is secure and only takes a minute. Young Life is a 501c3 organization and is set up to handle any unique giving situation as well. So just reach out to Peter or Pud through lakesareayounglife@gmail.com with your situation if you have any questions. You are also welcome to send a traditional check to our P.O. Box 970 in Detroit Lakes, written out to Young Life.
If you are one of our hosted locations, you will find an envelope as well as a pledge card in your Banquet in a Box.
Our fiscal year runs from October 1st through September 30th, so it is our desire to communicate in the next few months with our donors to identify our funding plan for the year, so we can plan and make decisions about what ministry will look like this year. If you're not able to give right now, but you would like to make a pledge to give throughout the year, or if you would like to continue your current contribution, we will cover that in just a minute.
Oh, in case I forgot, your donations to Young Life are tax deductible.
Now, head back to the homepage. Here you can click on the Get Involved button. This will direct you to a Google form where you can request information about joining a team, such as being a leader or serving on the committee, just like us.
If you are willing to lift up this ministry in prayer, this is the place to indicate that as well. We will share with you prayer requests and praise as the year progresses.
This should only take about 3 to 5 minutes to fill out. Someone from one of our teams will follow up with you and give you more information and answer any questions that you might have. If you are at one of our hosted locations, you will also find a form that you can fill out in the mail and then mail it to Young Life P.O. Box.
On the Google form, you will find a place to pledge donations for the year and indicate if you'd like to continue your giving to our area.
If you have any questions or unique ideas that you would like to share with us, you can add them in the comment section on this form or email them to lakesareayounglife@gmail.com. And one of our staff or team members will follow up with you shortly. It really means a lot to have you fill out this form and give us this information.
If you registered for tonight through our registration, an email will be sent to you with this information as well.
Thank you so much for considering joining us in Young Life. God has uniquely created us to have different ways we will be involved in His work. And we are praying for you tonight, and you can hear what the Spirit of God is saying to you.
We are excited to see what God will do this year and would love to have you be a part of it. We will be giving you about a minute or two to fill these out.
Don't go anywhere yet, though. Kate and Alex and some other friends wanted to say goodbye.
On behalf of the Young Life Committee, thanks again for your willingness to partner with us to reach kids with the love of Jesus. We will be right back.
Wow, what a night.
For real. Hey, how about our friend Kennedy?
Yeah, I'm so impressed with her bravery to share her story. Alex, what are you wearing?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Kate. I thought we would review our Young Life masks we were given for the video.
Here's my review. They look like underwear.
Crisp, clean, and to the point.
Anywho, thank you for joining us tonight.
I hope you got to see a little glimpse into this amazing ministry.
And the lovely people that come with it.
Now, I know you could watch for hours, but, well, Kate and I have homework.
Yeah, you don't need to log off right away because there will be some pictures and videos showing of this past year. And if you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Kate and Alex Show.
Alex and Kate, good night.
If you guys are still watching, you should probably be a Young Life leader. Give Kate a protocol. No, seriously guys, you can log off.
Nobody's gonna be offended.
Log off. You're still here. Log off. Are you gonna say something?
No. You were gonna do it.
I was waiting for you to say log off.
Log off.
Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, but darling, you were meant to survive. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. Just like a seed in a garden, you will grow to be tall. Staring out over miles of land without it, but wanting to build up walls. Lift me up in your branches.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Watch the sun